From the bustling city of Richmond to the Blue Ridge Mountains and the beautiful Shenandoah Valley, there once was a railroad that connected the capital of Virginia to the western part of the state all the way up to the border of modern-day West Virginia. This railroad led to the growth of many towns along its line, such as Waynesboro, Stanton, and Clifton Forge. Heavily damaged during the American Civil War, the rebuilding would lead to a merger that would create one of the most legendary railroads in American history. Today we're talking about the Virginia Central Railroad. Our story begins in 1836, when the Virginia General Assembly chartered the Louisa Railroad with the goal of creating a line heading west into the heart of the state. By the 1840s, the line had reached Gordonsville, but the Blue Ridge Mountains provided an obstacle. In 1849, the Blue Ridge Railroad was created to cut through the mountain and open the line to the Shenandoah Valley. In 1850, the Louisa was renamed to the Virginia Central Railroad, and by 1854 had reached Stanton and Waynesboro, Virginia. Stanton, in particular, saw major growth after the arrival of the railroad, and it even became a center for arts and culture, most of which were brought in by the Virginia Central's passenger trains. At the start of the American Civil War in 1861, the railroad was vital because of its connections from Stanton, Charlottesville, and all the way to Richmond. Troops, supplies, and more traveled along the railroad's lines, and Union cavalry operations targeted the Virginia Central. Tracks were torn up, and the Stanton Depot was burned in 1864. By the time the war ended, the Virginia Central only had a few miles of usable track. But by July of 1865, the railroad had restored most service to its entire line. After the war, the railroad looked to expand westward, mainly towards Covington, Virginia. The Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad was in the central sites because it would offer direct access across the entire state of West Virginia and into Ohio. The two railroads would host meetings, and talks of merger would progress with each meeting until the two agreed to merge in 1868. The merger would create the now famous Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad, which would be reorganized into the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway in 1878, also known as the Chessie. Years later, another railroad would use the name Virginia Central, which technically lasted until 1984, but that's a story for another day. The Virginia Central Railroad may be gone, but its foundation is still a vital part of Virginia's rail network. CSX and the Buckingham Branch Railroad use the line for freight operations. Amtrak's Cardinal service passes through on its way to Charlottesville, and the Virginia Scenic Railway runs excursion trains on the former Virginia Central lines in Stanton and Louisa. I'm Jake from American Railroads Project. Thank you for watching.